We are back, and it is summer. It is very hot, and the temperature is hot, and the temperature is very, very hot for Vitruveo.
Hot.
July is turning out to be very, very good. I'm really excited about everything that's already happening and that is going to happen. So super, super excited. But you know what I'm also kind of thankful for today is my wife and daughter were out touring college campuses in SoCal, and they came back last night, and so I get a break. And let me tell you, I have not new, but constant appreciation for all the things that homemakers do, and just a lot of work. So I'm just grateful for that, and shout out and thank you to everybody who's out there who's running a household and keeping things going. Man, it is difficult. It is difficult.
All moms.
Yeah.
I mean, some stay-at-home dads. I mean, I agree. I was raised by a single mother for a while, and she's my hero to this day. She's a Wonder Woman.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, temperatures here have been insane, so haven't been able to get out much. They've been at 100 plus, etc., and it's been really insane. Meanwhile, in the southern hemisphere, it's freezing, right? So winter, yeah. So sorry, folks, but here we've got it quite good. All right, I think we have a lot to unpack here today. So I think we can just dive right into it. Let me get my screen on the stage here and then get going. All right, welcome everyone. This is Vitruveo Download Season 4, Episode 2. This is July 12th, 2024. I'm Nick Kalyani. I'm the founder and CEO, and I'm super excited to come to you every Friday here and give you a recap of all the things that have happened in the prior week, and then an update on what is coming up. So we have lots to talk about today, and I feel like I've been on the stream here quite a bit here, and it has been very eventful because we've been talking about Vive, Vitruveo, the Vitruveo token that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. It's about income building, so it's a Vitruveo income building token. But anyway, let's first get started, as always, with the most important thing. We are an L1 blockchain, and so we first talk about the protocol. So we've kind of stabilized on the validators onboarding for right now. And what we are doing now is shifting gears a little bit to a few other things. So first and foremost, we are looking to test out a new testnet in private. What I mean by that is generally the testnets, mainnets, etc., all the nodes are exposed to the internet. And what we are trying out is working with a VPN to kind of protect those validators from external attacks and things like that. That's what a private network kind of does. And we are specifically gearing up with this private testnet because we want to test the protocol for changes that will be made in order to have the rebase reset. To refresh everyone's memory, we've agreed with the community that what we are going to do is reset the transaction goal that is required for a rebase. The transaction goal started with Genesis at 10,000, and it has been increasing steadily since then. It increases by 500 transactions per day. Now, we've been working for the past 6 months or so on building up apps and things like that and the ecosystem. And so people feel it's kind of fair, and I agree, that we kind of start the transaction counter now. So I don't have an exact date for you, but it's going to depend on our test results. I expect that there will not be any problems, but it's an L1 protocol. We want to be safe, and we want to be sure we've covered all the bases, and so that's what we're going to do. Here, what I am sure of is I will not be doing anything leading up to our token trading on the 23rd. So we're going to try and do our best to get it, whatever we need to get done by July 20th. If it's not done, we put a pin in it and we'll update it in August, right? Because we don't want the risk of protocol changes while we're doing one of the most important things, arguably, that this protocol will do. So that's the lay of the land, and I hope you'll agree with me that we want to put a pause on any kind of changes to the protocol, around the time of that the token starts to trade. So that's the news on the protocol. And now I want to kind of shift gears a little bit and talk more about strategy. So I'll just remind everyone of that Vitruveo is a community-centric project. We are an open protocol. We are an L1 EVM-based protocol. And specifically, we are a blockchain for creators. And a good way to think about how we sort of approach the creator ecosystem is to think about the three pillars. I always like to partition the business that way. So our three pillars are, the first pillar is the creative creators. So these are visual artists, musicians, movie makers, authors, etc. So very not to mention, not to say that other people are not creative, but those are primary creative space, right? The next pillar is the degen creators. So there, what we do is talk more about the apps that are very Web3 centric. So especially like PFP projects, etc., with all kinds of utilities and other tokenomics and things like that. So that's very specific. It's a very specific pillar. And the third pillar we have is gaming creators. We kind of call them out because they're very unique, because gaming is a huge industry all unto itself. And so these make up the three pillars, right? Now, how do we approach these three pillars in Vitruveo? Well, what we have is Vitru Suite for the creative creators. So that's our flagship product, where we create the ability for artists right now and later on musicians, etc., to come on board and consign their assets, and we make them searchable and we make them marketable and discoverable via many different channels. For the degen creators, we started off venturing into that territory by building out the Honcho marketplace. That's a very strong brand, and we started off strong, but we encountered some technical issues and very quickly realized that in order to scale up Honcho marketplace the way we want to, would require a significant amount of development. So let's put a pin in that. I'll come right back to it. The third is gaming creators. We're just getting started there in a very big way. We're really excited that we are building out Vortex World there. So Vortex World is our concept of a foundation for gaming creators, right? We don't want to be in the business as a protocol of actually building a ton of apps. What we want to do is make it easy for other people to do it, especially gaming developers, etc. So with Vortex World, what we've done is solved two of the biggest problems that gaming developers face. One is getting an audience. So if you look at Vortex World, we have a ready audience. It's all the token holders who are interested in experiencing gaming related behaviors. So that's one thing. And the second thing is capital, right? How do game developers get initial capital to get started, or get paid for their whatever their games and services are? So that's where we come in as a foundation for Vortex World. We want to make tokens available, token grants available for developers to build within Vortex World, and keep it as a readily expanding, very energetic, very dynamic ecosystem. And we provide things like the software development kits, the libraries, etc., so people can build and really take advantage of the rebasing that's in our protocol. That's, I think, a unique feature that would make things very interesting in games. For example, you have a weapon and there's a rebase that occurs, and because of that, your weapon is now have more power to it, or something like that. So that's very, very unique, very interesting, and we are going to cater to that. But anyway, coming back to Honcho Marketplace, as I expressed, we had some issues. And so what we've decided is we're going to deprecate the Honcho Marketplace as it stands, and we're going to re-architect and launch it as a platform launchpad. So what I mean by that is it will become the go-to place on Vitruveo for token projects. So any PFP projects, any token projects, etc., that are going to be launched, they would be done there. And we'd focus on innovative things like generative art, experiential NFTs, custom tokenomics, things like that. And we want to make it a highly desirable place for someone to come and launch your project. So that's where we're going to take Honcho. So we're going to take a step back. So now that does leave us with a gap here. What do we do here? And I'm very pleased to announce that we've got an amazing way to fill this gap with a new partner, which is Neon Circus. And what I'd like to do right now is bring onto the stage here, the Neon Captain. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Nick. Hi, Vitruvians. How are you?
I'm very glad to have you here. I'm super excited to announce our partnership of Vitruveo with Neon Circus. So tell us a little bit about Neon Circus, and then I'll go to the website and show people also. But tell us a little bit about it. And
yeah, Neon Circus is a great native marketplace built by the community for the community. So we were the launcher of Crocodile 404, wanted to have a place to sell art, to see for a bunch of degens who wants to trade and to build infrastructure for other projects. So that's how we end up creating Neon Circus. And we're pleased to announce the partnership with Vitruveo today.
Yeah, we are super excited.
Yeah.
I had a chance to check out Neon Circus. I'm actually going to go there and just bring up your website. You've got a gorgeous website, by the way. I love the colors and the energy. Talk me through some of the projects that are here right now.
Yeah. So as you can see, we have the Vortex, which is a Vitruveo project that we care a lot about. And we're going to have an announcement to make in a couple minutes about Vortexes. We also onboarded Swoops recently in the last 24 hours. Some were sold. So we're also pleased to be able to make this collection live on Neon Circus. And then our two native projects. So most of you know already Crocodile 404, which was the first ERC 404 token released on the chain, plus with that beautiful and made art. And then the Neon Catch, which was released a couple of days ago, which is the first of the program that we're creating on Neon Circus to reward all traders with brand new art and new concepts.
Fantastic. So I had a chance to meet with your team, and by the way, great team. I love everything about it. So I met Neon Dev and Neon Artist, and I love the fact that you're all entrepreneurs. You know, you're just a band of guys who decided, you know what, we want to do this. We want to build it. And on your own, without any external capital or anything, you've kind of built this. And I'm super excited to welcome you. And, as we've talked about, help you in every way possible to promote and also build out this marketplace. I think you've got some great plans for it. Tell me a little bit about some of the journey building on Vitruveo. It's an EVM for the most part, so it has to be pretty similar. But have you encountered any challenges or things like that?
We've been experiencing and playing with NFTs and ERC 721 for a little bit. We've been part of that race that happened a couple of years ago where everybody started to build collections and build different stuff. So no real challenges to translate our knowledge into Vitruveo. Super nice infrastructure, easy. The testnet is fantastic. So we've been using pretty much all the tools, and so far Neon Dev is pleased what we can play with.
That's great. So let's address a little bit. I think some of the questions that people have in their minds. How open is Neon Circus? Is it your goal to include all projects, or is it closed? Tell us more about that.
Correct. So as I mentioned earlier, basically the marketplace is meant to be a marketplace built by the community for the community. So we're going to be open for any projects, any artists, anyone who wants to create something that is consistent, that is considered art. We'll be pleased to onboard you and to support your project on Neon Circus.
All right. So what that means is we should, in the coming days, be able to add all the existing tokens that we know of on Vitruveo on here.
Yeah. Please, creators, join our Discord, talk to us. We'll be happy to help out.
Yeah. So one of the nice things that has happened as a result of our partnership is that we are now sort of in a Discord channel, etc., and we can bounce technical ideas off each other. And literally, if you see a problem, we can get that fixed instantly and move things along. So our goal is to support you in every way possible, and to make sure that any challenges that have or we've got GraphQL going to the extent you can use that, etc. We want to make that open and available to you. And also, I think we want to encourage the community to come and engage with it, because at the end of the day, we can't have growth if we don't have engagement, right? So we want to make sure that everybody in the community here comes and trades and things like that. And I will start doing that myself. I haven't done any purchases yet. I plan on doing that. But you've got a special promotion coming up, I understand.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for the segue. So basically, to promote this new partnership, as we speak, the Vortex minting is now live on Neon Circus. So anyone who wants to purchase Vortex, everything is now possible to do so. So great news. Yeah. So that's a great new announcement. New tools in collaboration with Nick. So we're pretty happy to roll that out today. And to get this starting this Sunday, July 14, until Wednesday, July 23rd, Neon Circus will host a daily raffle, giving away at random 2 Vortex per day to anyone who register a transaction on that given day. Any buy on Neon Circus, any collection, will get the wallet holder 1 ticket for that raffle. So pretty exciting to announce this partnership. I'm sure it's going to be a great success. And all the winners will be announced daily, but the airdrop is going to be made after the download on Friday, July 26th.
Fantastic. I love this. So, all right, guys. So what are you waiting for? Go to neoncircus.xyz and start picking up some of those NFTs. Now, I understand that we've talked so far about sort of the degen-oriented PFP projects, etc. But as I understand it, your team is also making headway into where we will go with secondary sales for art, right? Because the way we have positioned Search and our store is that we are the primary mint. Like you just mint, and then you discover, you mint, and then where do you trade? Well, there isn't a place for that right now, but that would also be Neon Circus, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. That's where we're going. So with the tool that was launched this week, we're going to focus on making the experience stable, making sure that we can onboard new collections. But then sky's the limit for Neon Circus.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now I'm gonna be in Canada, in Toronto next month for a little bit. I hope you guys are in Canada somewhere, right? I'll have to look you up and probably meet up sometime. But this is just great. First of all, let me just tell you, I'm just drawn to the colors. I just love that color combination so much. And I'm really excited about this. And we've got some Vortex, the Vortex giveaways right now. But I think along the way, I'd love to have more engagement of Neon Circus with our airdrop campaign, give points to folks, etc. And then, have more giveaways on a daily basis. I think that would be fantastic.
I agree. The more we can get for the community, the better it can become.
Yeah. So guys, if you have feature requests, etc., please go to neoncircus.xyz. They've got their Discord icon right there in the header. Go click, go join their Discord and give them feedback and suggestions, etc. And Neon Captain, I'm just very excited. I think we'll be talking a lot because I just have a lot of ideas. And in particular, I'm interested in PFP projects with experiential NFTs and things like that, like, for example, NFTs that change according to the time of day or the weather or things like that. And really would like to bring more of those projects. And I think together we can create some templates that will help people bring. So let's see first if there's any questions for you here. Yeah. People seem really, really excited about this. All right. Mystique NFT says, congratulations on the partnership.
Thank you.
G Giant asks, what will become of Sochai and Honcho tokens, etc.? I think we're going to bring them on, right? On here.
Definitely Sochai, which the PFP part, the tokens, it's still not supported as we speak, but maybe there is a way of integrating that. All
right, we'll find a way. All right. CK says, nice to see community devs making projects on the chain. Absolutely. I mean, this is what we want to see and encourage as much as possible. We will have formal programs, to start encouraging more, but one of the things we wanted to be sure of is that we've got a solid foundation that people can build on. And our entree into that is Vortex World. Actually, we will have a reference game for that soon, and a game kit. Even here with Honcho being repositioned as a launchpad, we'll make it drop dead simple. If you've got the artwork, etc., click a few buttons and you'll be able to launch a project in like 10 minutes. That's the goal here. And Neon Circus is also going to have its own launchpad also. And so we'll work together and collaborate on creating complementary features. And I'm excited about that.
We're super excited about that.
Yeah. Southern Fried says, amazing, Nick, LFV. Yep, let's go. And Rohan says, love Neon Circus. Yes, so that's great.
Thank you, Rohan.
All right, and Crypto Knight says, great partnership. All right, so there we have it. Well, Neon Captain, I'm very excited. Let's continue forging on. As we just showed you earlier, we do have Vortex minting live on here. I'm going to go ahead right after download and mint my first one here. And it's just also got, I always like to try out new platforms, and also I want to experience it, so that's great. And we'll be in touch about the giveaways and things like that. So thank you so much for joining us here. And
thank you, Nick, for the invitation. Don't forget to join us on the official Discord, and happy trading on Vitruveo and Neon Circus. See you guys.
Yeah, that's right here. All right. Thanks,
Bye.
Neon Captain. Have a good weekend. Bye. All right. So this is amazing. I'm absolutely pumped about this. It's great to have an official marketplace partner here that is going to stay focused. I'm not kidding when I say I met their team. Very driven, very, very driven. I love when I encounter entrepreneurs who are just driven to do something, who have a vision and are just laser focused on it. So this is great. All right, with that out of the way, let's move on to our next topic here, which is talk about Vitru Suite. Now, I hope there are some creators here in the audience. I see that there are some. That's great. So this is big news right now. So we've been hinting about this, and now it is there. We are excited because the phase 2 primary features are ready. So there were 3 features that we've been working on. The first one, well, let me back up a little bit. We had our Genesis, and in the Genesis, we had constraints. The constraint was you could do only one artwork. It had to be $150, and there were no fees. That was it. Now all that is gone. We can now have a feature where artists can consign multiple artworks. They can set arbitrary price of artworks, and fees will be added. This is super important. This is why we've gotten the whole, vibe going, etc., because we wanted to actually have revenue sharing work from day one the way we imagined it. So one of the things that I have an agreement with the Brazilian team is that we won't release anything on a Friday, just because that means, if there's a problem, that means they have to work on the weekend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo you the features as they are on our QA network. And come Monday, these will be live. And we'll probably do an X space or might be even a stream, and maybe do it along with the Vortex, combine it with the Vortex airdrop, so that artists can go in and start consigning multiple artworks and things like that. So let me show you what I got going. Now, I didn't want to set up my account with all the stuff that's needed to go through multiple artworks and all that. So I'm using one of our developers' accounts here. So this is the new studio. You can already see that I'm logged in there, and I have multiple artworks. They're all sample artworks. They are not real, probably stock art or something like that. But let me walk you through some of the key changes. The first thing is the top bar here, where you have consign a new asset. So you can hit that plus, and you can consign a new asset on demand, right? And as you add all these assets, they have states. So initially, you have a draft state. And if you look here on the right-hand side, these are all filters. Currently, I'm viewing all artworks, but here I can go and look at my draft ones. Then I can look at pending ones. I don't have any here. Ones that have been listed already, and then ones that have been sold. And there we have the Vitruveo specific red dot. That's a carryover from the real world, where a red sticker at an exhibition means it was sold. So this is the available to you Monday. It is on testnet right now. We've been testing it. It's been working fantastic. Now, I want to address one specific thing that I know a lot of artists will have questions about. It's the topic of collections, right? So if you go to most marketplaces today, regardless of which chain it is, they have a collection-centric metaphor where you create a collection and then you add, artworks to it. And we feel that that's a very analog way of approach to it, because that's a throwback from the real world, where you can only have a painting, an artwork in a collection. In the digital realm, we have more freedom. And so what we have is, in the metadata, we have a collection field, and you can add one artwork to as many collections as you want. And you can add any artwork to any collection. And here, for the purpose of consigning, etc., we can filter things and show them differently. So all your collections will show up here, and you can filter them however you want. But think of collection as a virtual grouping instead of a physical grouping of things, even in digital. It's not like a file and a folder. That's, I think, a good metaphor. When you have your computer and you have files, you can put them into folders, and a collection is, on other marketplaces, is like that. But at Vitruveo, that same file can belong to any number of folders. That's the analogy, So super excited about that, and want to make it very, very flexible. Of course, as we have our Telegram for artists. If you're not already on there, you should be. That's on dreamverse.vitruveo.xyz. Go there, and if you have feedback or questions, etc., that's the place to be. But this is all working now. I want to show you some other features. And that is when you go to one of these artworks here, as always, these are sold. So here we go. We are in studio right now. You'll see that there's status changes, etc. We are still adding a few tweaks, like, for example, you're going to put the title of the artwork here, etc. But otherwise, everything seems to be working really well. Now, I want to show you here what happens when we go to the store listing, because there's been some changes there. We are constantly tweaking the layout and the design of this, and we've done quite a bit of changes here. But one of the most important things is that in here, you're going to start seeing fees show up. So let me go to one that it will show up on. I was seeing it earlier. Oh, I know what. I'm not connected, and that's why it's, hang on a second. I'm connected to Vitruveo mainnet, and I need to be on Vitruveo testnet. Am I there? Yeah, there we go. All right. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit and show you this. So we have the price of the artwork, but we now also have fees. So ultimately, we are going to have curator fees. We're going to have affiliate partnership fees, etc. But for right now, all we have is the platform fees. And you can hover over here and see that it says, probably can't read that. Let me zoom in some more. You see that. So there you see it, platform fees, 2%, right? So we've been having this conversation as a community about revenue streams and things like that. And this is a tangible example of how that's going to happen. We, as of Monday, are releasing this feature, and there will be fees, and they will flow directly into the Vibe contract. So as of next week, once the Vibe contract is live, if you hold the Vibe token, you will be eligible to claim some of that revenue. Now, of course, it's going to be very small because we need a large enough volume to get going. But the important thing is it will be working. So all revenues, no matter where they come from, flow into the Vibe contract, and all Vibe holders, all Vibe token holders, own a share of it. So I'll get more into Vibe in a bit, but this is important. I wanted to start here and show you that this really is an exciting progression for us. So let me see if there's any quick questions about this, and then I'll continue here. Mystique says, well, there we go. You know what? Every time I click on this in StreamYard, it scrolls away and it makes it very confusing for me. All right, Mystique says, can't wait to consign my next piece. One is ready and another is still being painted, so I'm super excited. Yes, I can't wait to have all of that. All right, and Iris says, what about KYC? We don't roll out all features at once. We roll them out in sequence. As they're built, we roll them out to you and really get going. So everything, by now you should be familiar with it. Like I announce something and then we take the time to build it out. And as we go and progress, I share it with you. So this is the pattern. All right, let's see. Cashflow King says, will got an image set ready to go, Nick? Will elastic pricing be active? Again, we're going to go in steps. The first one is one-of-one editions. Then we're going to do open editions. And last, we're going to do elastic editions. So we're going to roll out each feature in turn. So there's a question here. What happened to ePlays? I think that's unrelated to this. It was a prior thing. ePlays is our partner, and we're building with them. So they are still here. No change. So I can spend my whole weekend consigning, not until Monday. Monday is when you can start consigning. So your whole week, maybe. All right. Let's see. I'm seeing there's any. Mina says he likes the new collection style. Appreciate that. Thank you. Interstellar says, will there be a bidding feature to purchase art? So look here, guys. I'll just say this again and again. All right. We are building completely new set of primitives for Web3 art. We've thrown out everything other than the fact that it's an ERC 721 compatible contract. But we've added so much. We've added metadata. We've added on-chain licensing. We've added sort of creator vault. So every creator mints from their own vault automatically. We've added collector credits. We've added signing of artworks. There's just a host of other features, etc. You can't expect a tiny team to build enterprise-grade software all at once. The way things are built is we roll out feature by feature depending on the priority of the community. So expect that all the cool features that really drive sales are going to be there. There's just no reason why we wouldn't have. So the answer to when you ask a question, hey, is this going to be there? It'll be there, but it's going to take some time because we want to have the best user experience. And remember, we are building for the Web 2 crowd. We are building for people who are not yet here. So in time, all features will be there. All right. So let's see here. Anything you can show about what KYC will look like in studio? No, I mean, basically, the only time you're able to see something and demo it is when we get to a beta phase, right? So things are there, they're kind of working, etc. With KYC, it's going to be very, very simple. In your profile, in your studio profile, which is right here, I'll go to my profile and show you. In your profile, somewhere here is going to be a section that says KYC and a link. You click on that link, it takes you to our third-party website, Synapse. You do your KYC, and you're done, and you come back. And what they do is, behind the scenes, they send us a level. Which KYC level did you complete? 0, 1, 2, 3. That's all we hear about. We don't hear any other detail. And when that comes in, then your profile has that, and because of that level, we can orchestrate various things. We can enable more creator credits. We can trust your account, etc. So KYC is going to be a link. Basically, it's going to be a link that takes you to the Synapse website where you can do all the KYC. Vijay asks, is that Vibe revenue must be claimed daily basis, or how the claiming process is going to work? The claiming process is going to work however you want it to work. Meaning, claim whenever you want to. It doesn't go anywhere. You can do it daily, hourly, minute by the minute. However often you want to claim, you can claim. You can leave it sit there for a year, for 10 years. Doesn't matter. Your claim to that revenue is perpetual, indefinite, irrevocable. Yeah? So you can come in and get it. Will artists pay gas fees to consign? Well, first of all, gas fees are completely irrelevant on Vitruveo. At the most, for most transactions, you might pay like, I don't know, a tenth of a penny or something like that. So it's but artists pay nothing on Vitruveo. So when you consign, everything is handled for you. You don't pay anything, and we take special pains to ensure that there is no scenario as part of the sales sort of workflow for art that artists have to pay anything. So artists will never pay anything, and when they do, it is so trivially cheap that it's negligible. Rohan asks, once the art is sold, is there still going to be a 5-day hold before the artist can claim they are Vitru? That is an old feature. We put that in place when we were seeing excessive bad actor activity. We have removed that feature. It's gone away. It's been replaced by content moderation. So right now we have a community moderation team. So whenever you consign your artwork, you basically go through a moderation process, and we are working on a process that takes a combination of your activity plus KYC to auto trust you. So once you become trusted, then you won't even have to do moderation. It just goes directly. So what we want to do is create a platform where there isn't a scam artworks, garbage artworks, etc. We want high quality artworks, right? So that's why we have the content moderation, and we don't see that going away anytime. What we do see happening is that the artist, as they progress through and improve their relationship, in the sense they're consigning more artworks, they have done KYC, etc. What we can do is we can mark them as trusted on the platform, and so then they have lots of capabilities that they wouldn't otherwise have. So so search.vitruveo.xyz is where you're going to see the artworks come up next week as they are consigned. All right, let me take a couple more questions, then I'll continue. When is the next batch of collector credits due out? There is no batch of collector credits due. We are done. That drop is done, and now any collector credits that come in the future will come through a buy page in the Vitru store. So there'll be a buy page, and you can go there and buy with Vitru. You can buy with USDC and get a collector credit if you want to, if you don't already have collector credits. Commander 605 asks, have you taken steps to ensure artwork images cannot be copied? No. What we do is we focus on making sure that the artworks that are listed are signed, so their ownership can sort of be traced back. But it is a fool's errand to try and prevent artwork images from being copied, because everyone knows they show up in a browser. You can right-click, copy, and save them. Of course, the whole point of NFTs is that it is about ownership. It's about having a license, right? When you right-click save an image, what you have is a replica of the image. No different than when you go to the Louvre and you take a photo of the Mona Lisa. You don't own the Mona Lisa. You own a replica of it. So therefore, we are not going to go into things like watermarking and all of that kind of stuff. It's just counterproductive, because it takes a lot of time and effort and cost. And at this juncture, it is unnecessary. What we'll focus on is for artists to be able to prove the authenticity of the artwork. So they have signed it and things like that. So that's what we'll focus on. All right, I think this is good. I think I'll take more questions as we go forward, but this is a good stopping point here. So artists, just know that on Monday, things are ready for you. They are cooking, and you can start consigning as many artworks as you want. And just remember, there were basically 3 things that artists were looking for, right, before hopping on Vitruveo. 1 was consign multiple artworks. Check, Monday. 2, set the price of artworks, because many artists have much more expensive artworks than $150. Check. And the third is liquidity. So that is going to be checked on July 23rd when Wrap Vitru starts trading on our DEX, which I'll be talking about here shortly. So we are July is the month, folks, artists. If you're sitting on the sidelines, then you're missing out big on being an early adopter here on Vitruveo, because we are taking special care of our early adopter artists, and we also have a lot of collectors who are waiting with collector credits to buy. So I hope on Monday you can hop on and start participating. I want to make sure that everyone is aware on where you need to go for that. You go to studio.vitruveo.xyz. I don't have a banner for that. Let me just create one real quick so that it's unambiguous. And one of the questions I get asked on X all the time is, hey, how do I sign up or how do I consign my artwork? You go to studio.vitruveo.xyz. There is no waiting list. There is nothing. Just sign in and start consigning. That's it. That's all you have to do. All right. So you have to, if you're still thinking of waitlist, etc., from a Genesis thing, that was months ago. That is all done. Now we are open for business. Anyone can come and consign. All right. All right. Let's continue then. And let's talk a little bit about Vortex. All right. So we've had a fair bit of activity on Vortex. One of the biggest things that we are working on is launching on Warpcast, which means that you can mint Vortex on the base chain and it gets bridged over to Vitruveo. So we have had a couple of setbacks, mostly on my account, but the positive thing is that we've minted 26,000 Vortex mints already. Now, what I want to do here today is give you some very specific launch information. So first and foremost, we've got a creator challenge activated. It is live right now. And in 2 days, we are going to have the submissions page active. So if you're a creator and if you haven't seen this, it's vitru.xyz creator challenge. So basically, the challenge is that you have to create the artworks for the Vortex NFTs. So there's 24 of them. And this document here gives you all the requirements. So we're going to have the submission page ready according to this plan as of July 15th, which means we'll have it ready on the weekend. And on Monday, you can start submitting your artworks. We're going to have some voting then in August, and we'll have a winner announced. All right. Now, we have the Vortex World websites ready, but we want to do some final testing because it's a brand new blockchain base. And this is the first time we are doing it on there. So I want to make sure the bridge works flawlessly. So we will be launching Monday morning EST. I'll give you an exact time on the weekend, probably as early as possible on Monday. And so our plan is as follows. On Monday, we start Warpcast minting. So if you are on or have the Warpcast app, you're going to find the Vortex World channel and you'll be able to mint. We are also publishing a new roadmap. So we've got all that done. We've got a plan for dates, for releases, things like that. On Wednesday, we will activate the land claims on the website. So people have been waiting for that anxiously. I'm sorry, we had a few false starts on that, but we are set now. So, all right, so that's the schedule for Vortex this coming week. Monday kicks off all the action for Vortex World. And if you are a holder, if you have a Vortex NFT, it's going to be fun for you. I promise. It's going to be very exciting. And we'll do some lives and some more airdrops also and have a party, basically, right? So that is the plan for Vortex. And let me see if I'm missing anything on it. I think we are good. Okay, let's talk about Wrap Vitru now. All right. So let me get that banner out of the way first because it doesn't apply to. All right, there we go. All right. So as I announced last week, we are going live on the DEX July 23rd, but will change if a major exchange commits prior. So I struck that off because there's not been a major exchange that has committed. So now we are on the road to July 23rd. Nothing stopping us. Everything is falling into place for that. The Wrap Vitru contract is imminent, and when we do that, we'll promote that heavily so that you can go and unwrap any coins you have in the older contract there. There is no limit to when you can do that, so don't worry about it. Your funds are safe. You can unwrap anytime you wish. Now, one of the things we will put in this wrap Vitru contract is a circuit breaker. So if you're familiar with the stock market, the stock exchanges, etc., after the crash of, I believe, 2001, they implemented circuit breakers. These are basically automated mechanisms that, based on a certain pattern of activity, fall into place to slow things down a bit and allow the market to take a pause and take a breath. So in our case, wrap Vitru will have that circuit breaker where it essentially is monitoring the trading activity on the DEX for wrap Vitru, and based upon certain rules, generally it's about too much downward pressure, etc. It will kick in, and what will happen is that you will not be able to wrap Vitru for a certain amount of time, and then it'll cool off, and then you can do it again. So what this does is ensure that we can have a little, I mean, it's fully decentralized, of course. That's the whole point of DEX, right? Decentralized exchange. But we also want to make sure that we are coming into a very special situation here, where we've inherited, as Mike Purdy likes to say, the debt, right? We've inherited a debt of almost plus or minus 20 million coins. That's not easy to deal with. And so what we are doing is making sure that there is a circuit breaker to keep things in control. So it's fully decentralized, no manual intervention. You can go look at the contract and go look at all the rules, etc. And I'll be sure to also talk about it in a session like this on exactly what the rules are. But the goal is to just allow things to take a breather. All right. Now let's move on and talk about the next topic, which is Vibe. But first, a sip of chai. Actually, I should, before I go on, let me just take a few questions here also about this. I'm going to answer more questions toward the end. Rohan says, Nick, on behalf of the community, would like to thank Mike Purdy for all that he's been doing on Discord and continuously been providing updates and answering questions. Yeah, absolutely. Unquestionably, Mike has been great and has improved the communication so much. It's been great to work with. So yeah, thank you, Mike. I appreciate you very much. I see some folks here talking still about doing community votes, etc., about Swapper, etc. I will just be emphatic and say that is done. We are not revisiting that again. All right. We had 6 months, 9 months, if you count from the onset, and it's done. No more talk about it. No more discussion. It's finished. Let's see. Phantom says, I like the circuit breaker. I do too. Eagle Rider concurs. Thank you. Vitru will be open source, so circuit breaker. Yeah, I mean, we always verify the contract. The code is right there in the Explorer to look at. I like LBs. Unless it's a Chuck Norris wrapping, then it won't work. That is very funny. The circuit breaker is only on wrapping Vitru. Unwrap is no problem. So look, you need to understand this, right? Wrap Vitru has only one function in the ecosystem: to go on the DEX and be traded, to be sold, basically. It has no other purpose. All the utility on the ecosystem is with Vitru. So the purpose of having a circuit breaker on the wrapping is that it directly influences or governs the supply of tokens that can be traded. That's it. It's as simple as that. So if you see activity that is a cause for concern, then what you do is algorithmically, not by someone flipping a coin, algorithmically say, okay, there's this activity happening. It is not desirable. It is not healthy for the ecosystem. So let's put the brakes on it for a little bit. And what that break means is you cannot wrap Vitru. You can keep unwrapping as much Vitru as you want, because we want you to have your Vitru to be able to go, for example, buy on Neon Circus or buy artwork or things like that, right? We want that activity. Wrap Vitru has only one purpose, and so we are able to essentially control that. One of the things I personally would like to see is that circuit breaker algorithmically tends to have Vitru. If on the down, look, I'm just being pragmatic here. I'd love for it to just be forever going up, but let's be pragmatic, right? On the downslope, to have the characteristics of a stable coin. So it hovers around $1 and doesn't go much below that. So, and then when activity resumes, it cools off, it'll go back up, So that's kind of algorithmically what we are trying to achieve here. So we'll probably have a few complex D5 primitives in there, including things like bonding curves, etc. But again, I will do a session like this, and as we've always done, I will walk you through all the rules, etc. We get some feedback and improve and put things into place. Let's see. Gus says you should take another sip of chai because you're on fire today. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I love it. Okay. All right. Let's move on to Vibe now, because that's important. Now, most of you have been on the session where I talked a little bit about Vibe in the community. I'm going to run through some of those slides again, because this is a much larger audience, and I wanted to make sure we communicate that. So let's go through that. All right. So Vibe stands for Vitruveo Income Building Engine. I'm very pleased and really proud that Vitruveo is the first L1 protocol out there that very equitably distributes any kind of incoming revenue to its ecosystem, to its community. And we do that with a Vibe token. So there's this token has basically 1 million units. They're indivisible. And there are various ways in which they can be acquired. So the first thing is with an airdrop, which I'll talk about shortly, that the community has already earned. Secondly, by staking, etc. Vibe is not available for purchase. No money has to be paid for it. It is available as airdrop and things like that. Let's dive into this. But first, I want to show you the designs for it. So I'm very excited to share these. So thank you to Mike. Mike Purdy is the creator of these. They are amazing. And what you see is there is numbers. So Vibe, you can think of almost like currency. There are denominations. Let's say that you have 2,000 Vibes. You don't want 2,000 NFTs in your account there. So what you want is to have maybe 2 of these 1,000 denomination Vibes on there, right? So when we do the airdrop for the Vibes, we are going to do it in the most efficient way possible. So you get the least amount of Vibes. But then in the contract, we have a split and join feature. So you can go and trade in 100 and say, I want 2 50s or 5 20s or whatever that might be. Or you can take, I don't know, 10 5s and say, I want a 50. So you'll be able to do that, because Vibe is a long-term thing. When you hold Vibe in your wallet, you are eligible for revenue coming in to the blockchain forever. And so we expect that, people don't want clutter. People want to be very clear and say that here's my wallet. In this wallet, I want to allocate, 10 Vibes or 10% of my holdings or something. Here's my second wallet for my kid, and I want to have 20 Vibes there or whatever. So we want to give you the flexibility to do that. And so that's why we have this denomination concept with Vibe. What do you need to do in order to earn that revenue share? Nothing. If you have a Vibe, you can go and claim your revenue share from an app we'll provide anytime. You can go directly to the smart contract and also claim it. You don't need to rely on an app. And in fact, maybe other people will build apps that work differently from the one we have, which is Scope. to allow you to claim revenue, maybe, etc. It's open, it's decentralized, and it is very community centric. All right, so now I'm very pleased to report that Vibe airdrop begins tomorrow. So as of tomorrow, all the boosters, all the validators, all the Vortex 25K holders who are automatically assigned Vibe, allocated Vibe, will be airdropped. All the dreamers, all the Genesis and Art Packs artists, all of you, starting tomorrow. Now it's going to take a bit of time. By my count, there were almost 20,000 or so tokens to be airdropped. So what we typically do when we do these airdrops is we space them out a little bit. What I mean is, like, we'll do a batch of like 50 and then wait a couple seconds, maybe 5 seconds, a block, then do it again. So it takes a little bit of time. So these are all already preordained. Everyone knows that what they're getting, etc. There are going to be absolutely no surprises here. The only surprise you'll have is the joy of having a Vibe in your wallet. But already the people who are getting it know what they're getting, right? So let's talk a little bit about Vibe now, and then we'll talk about the breakdown, etc. Right? So if you're new to this, Vibe is essentially a token that allows you to have access to all revenue that's coming into the protocol. So we are currently we've built a platform to enable search and discovery of artworks, and it's right here. Let's go look at it real quick. Yeah. So we've built a novel search system. We've built on-chain metadata for artworks, completely different from what exists out there today. And for each of these artworks, we charge a 2% platform fee, and that 2% platform fee is revenue. We also have lots of other revenue sources, and if you have new revenue sources, all of those also fall into this contract. So basically, a Vibe is a very valuable thing because it represents a share of ownership of revenue in there. So a good way to think about this is that, we have Vitru, which is the utility coin of our blockchain. It is an L1 blockchain, and it, just like Ethereum has ETH, Bitcoin has BTC, etc. Vitru is a native coin, and it is going to grow depending on market conditions and investor sentiment, and also to a large extent what we do. Right now, our protocol has a unique feature called rebasing, and this means that the Vitru will multiply. We have a supply of 60 million right now, and in 5 to 7 years, it will be at 250 million. So this is rebasing. It's basically compound interest. So Vitru is a good bet if you're thinking about it based on market conditions, etc. Vitru also represents ownership. Vibe is a different kind of ownership. It has no market value. It might, but we ascribe no market value to it. But what it represents is revenue share income, depending on market adoption of the blockchain. So as more people use the blockchain and pay for its services, we make more money. So this is, if you hold Vibe, it's recurring passive income for you with no upper limit and in perpetuity. So it is there forever. So a good way to think about it is, when you are holding sort of stock in a company versus you are actually in a rev share program for the company. So the profits are distributed to you. With stock, the profits may be distributed potentially as dividends, but if you're part of a rev share program, it's guaranteed for you, All right, so we've got a fixed set of Vibe allocations. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here because we've discussed this at length, but basically the main stakeholders in the Vitruveo ecosystem have allocated Vibe. I'd like to, since this is the first time that most creators actually come and listen to my talk about Vitruveo, I want to point out that we are already airdropping a significant number of Vibe to artists who have participated in our Genesis and who have participated in the journey leading up to Vitruveo with the Dreamer passes and with art packs, etc. But more important, we have carved out here an allocation for creators who come into our ecosystem. So this is what I was saying. We love early adopters. And so if you're an early adopter and you're going to jump into Vitruveo and are already part of it, we want to create a pathway to lifetime income for you by getting a vibe into your hands. So we are working right now on a program that says, all right, if an artist does X, Y, and Z things, then they get a vibe. Now we have a limited supply of that. We don't have a lifetime infinite supply. And this is why it is very, very important to not sit on the sidelines. You snooze, you lose. So these creator vibes will be gone very, very fast. And so I encourage you, starting Monday, that if you have got artwork to consign, to start doing that and not wait and say, I'll wait and see what happens, etc. If you wait, you might lose the opportunity to get one of these vibes. So I would encourage creators on here to really start, excuse me, exploring how Studio works, how the metadata works, etc., and do all of that. Now, I just thought about one thing as I was talking about Studio, etc. I missed one very important feature, and I'm just going to digress and go right back to that. I promise I'll come right back to this. So in Studio, one of the key things is that when you consign your artwork, you go through a multi-step process. We believe in discoverability. Your artwork gets actually fed into the Google sitemap, search engine sitemap, etc. And we wanted to optimize for your time because it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to consign an artwork on Vitruveo. But I wanted to show you this cool feature. It was the main highlight, and I completely whizzed by it, which is duplicate asset. When you do that, let's say that you've got 10 pictures or artworks or whatever in a collection, they're mostly the same, mostly similar, but they might have some changes in metadata. What you do is you create one, you consign it, and then you use this duplicate feature. It's going to copy all the metadata. It's going to copy all the licenses. It's going to copy everything but the artwork itself. And so you can very, very quickly be able to do the consignment for multiple artworks. Make it very, very easy. Okay. All right. Going back here. And all right, so that's about creators. But last but not the least is Vitru staking. So we have an amazingly good staking program. And we are quite liberal in that we wanted to make sure that everyone, including folks who had their Vitru still unvested, are able to participate in this. So let's go on and read more about that. So, but before we do that, let's take a temperature of the ecosystem and see what we have to do as a community leading up to the 23rd and then beyond, right? So what we have right now is we have in our contract for vesting, we have roughly 18 million locked there. And we have about a monthly drip of 2.5 million coins. What that means is that's approximately how many get unvested every month. We have about 6.5 million coins that are floating around unlocked. They are freely tradable, right? And then we have about 2 million that have been locked in through our airdrop staking program for the next 2 to 6 months. So all the red boxes there, what they do is they represent risk, right? There is massive sell pressure with all of these coins coming into free play. And when you have massive sell pressure like that, it is untenable. You cannot have a business that works. The business is guaranteed to fail, even as it's trying to get its footing. Like we've just now, rolled out some new features. We've got marketplace going with our partnership. We've got studio going, etc. With sales, we are ready to onboard more artists. But at the same time, if we have a massive number of these debt tokens, if you will, hit the market, that's going to create enormous sell pressure, and it's untenable for us. So what we need to do is we need to shift our focus from short-term coin-based price to long-term revenue share price. So if we can build a sustainable business that has lots of revenue over the long term, it means that all of us can have some income as we go. And what it also does is make our business very attractive for institutional capital. And ultimately, this organic growth means that we have staying power. We can be around and achieve our vision. And I just want to remind everyone, which sometimes it gets forgotten, we have a mission to make it possible for every artist to have a sustainable income. Plain and simple. We want to do that. But we are aligning the interests of crypto investors and creators. And that's the magic sauce of Vitruveo, is by making it possible for both to win, we can create a very successful long-term business. So what we need to achieve is we need to make sure that the entire ecosystem is aligned to focus on revenue growth. Now, by some high-level analysis, it's approximately 60 to 70% of the free open unlocked coins that are in small bags. Anything from 1,000 to less than that. So a lot of those folks are not very present in our ecosystem, and but they will probably show up starting the 23rd, right? And they'll want to just sell. So as an ecosystem, my goal and our goal should be that we shift the price, the conversation from price of the coin to really rev share. And honestly, the conversation about coin price does not happen in a vacuum. It shouldn't, because there are so many factors like the market price, liquidity, price sustainability, the market cap. So many things are there, but it's unhealthy in our ecosystem to just talk about coin price and have stars in our eyes when we haven't talked about the fundamentals first. So I'm encouraging everyone here to think like a business owner and think about, okay, how can I make my own platform here have long-term sustainability and have revenue growth so I can have long-term recurring income? Because if we focus only on price, I guarantee you long-term income is not going to be possible. We have to get past the initial sort of hurdles here and get to the point where we can have growth and really drive sustainable income over time, not just for the crypto investors, but also for the artists. So I think we can build it. We are on our way, guys. We are on our way. We have done so much in the past 12 months, and we are building an amazing ecosystem. I want to make sure that you can keep your Vitru, you can keep your vibe and earn daily income. And that's where we are focused on. We got to focus on revenue growth, and we're firing on all cylinders here. We've built a lot of things and we've got the opportunities. We just got to capitalize on them. All right. So how can you acquire a vibe? Well, there are multiple ways. The first is via Vortex. So as we talked about earlier, you can mint Vortex on Neon Circus. The basic philosophy is that the first 25K Vortex automatically got vibe, but we are at 26K now. So that opportunity is gone. Now, if you have two chances with Vortex, if you mint one Vortex, you have a 33% chance. It's just a lottery. You may or may not get it. But if you buy two Vortex, you're guaranteed. Your chance goes from 33% to 100% of getting one vibe. The quota is fixed. It's 25,000 vibes. When those are gone, there are no more vibes coming from the Vortex purchases anymore. It's just a special bonus feature that's there. And right now, it's still, I think there are about 24,000 available on that, but they will go fast once we get on Warpcast. I don't think they'll last very long. All right, the second way is if you have unlocked Vitru already, you can stake it, and or you can swap it. So if you are staking, for every 50 Vitru you stake, you get one vibe for 1 year. If you decide to stake for multiple years, you get multiple vibes, and it corresponds to the number of years that you're willing to stake. So 1 year gives you 1, 2 years gives you 2, all the way to 5 years give you 5. So that's if you stake. So at the end of that period, you get back your vibe. You get back your Vitru, but you get your vibe instantly. So your vibe is the moment you stake, you get your vibe and you get your rev share starting immediately. And when your stake period is done, then you can unstake and get your Vitru back. Now you have a choice of also swapping. So you can give up 15 of your Vitru and get one vibe. That's straightforward. No rules or anything about that. Swap as many as you want and get vibe, as long as that there are remaining. So the total capacity of that is 350,000. All right. You can also acquire Vibe with locked Vitru. So locked Vitru is Vitru that is still not vested. So you might have a Nexus, a Maxim, a Dreamer, or a Trooper NFT, and one of those, any one of those, can be used for locked Vitru consideration. So if you stake 150 Vitru for Vibe, you get the same thing. You can get 2, 3, 4, 5. One year is not available with locked Vitru. You can also swap with 20 for 1. So let's review in a table just to make it easy. So if you have Vitru, locked or unlocked, you can acquire Vibe. Now, this is my call out to artists. All right, Vitruveo is a new blockchain. You have to treat it as such. Don't come to Vitruveo and expect the characteristics of Ethereum or Solana or something like that. We are still in our beginning here. So if you were part of Genesis, for example, you got 100 Vitru. What could you do with it? Well, on July 23rd, you could trade it. You could swap it on the DEX for USDC. I don't know what the price will be. It all depends on how things pan out. But that is a one-time thing. You swap that Vitru that you got for selling your artwork, and you get some money, maybe high, maybe low, I don't know, and you're done. Instead, the smart thing for you to do with that Vitru would be to use that to stake. So if you stake that Vitru, let's say you have 100 Vitru, you stake that for 5 years, what you would get is 5 Vibe. So that is lifetime income that you can derive from that one artwork sale. So I would encourage you to think about this and be smart about it. You could go and trade that on the DEX for USDC.pol, or you could stake it and get 5 Vibes, right? So the decision, of course, yours. But I just want to point out that one way gives you income forever, and one way gives you potentially a small amount of money once, and then it's done. So Vitruveo is, as I said at the beginning, right? We are still building out the systems, etc. And so if you are coming and consigning your artwork here and going through this new process and this exciting process, one way to think about it is any earnings that you have here you should think of as a way to create long-term income, right? If you think about it that way, then you're not sort of thinking about, oh, I need to immediately flip this Vitru to get cash so I can pay my rent or whatever. You should not look at the initial days of Vitruveo like that. At least I would say for the first 90 days or so, you should look at Vitruveo as a long-term investment in your art career to make sustainable income. So we'll have separate sessions where we walk you as an artist through the process of getting Vibe, etc., in order to lock in that long-term income. So we'll do that to help you, because I know that not all artists understand DeFi very well. Now, a couple of things about the staking and the swapping. In order to make sure, again, that we don't have a lot of sell pressure, what we're going to do is we're going to temporarily freeze a core NFT claims, right? So if you have a core NFT and you go to scope and you hit that claim button right now, so starting at midnight, July 23rd, I should say UTC. I should I'll clarify that. I'll put that in the slide. UTC, the claims will be frozen, and they'll be activated again on midnight, November 1, UTC. So what happens in the interim? Nothing. Everything happens as planned. Your claims accumulate, your rebases accumulate, etc. All that is a pause. That button is disabled. On November 1, it's re-enabled, and you can get to it. All right. The next thing is what happens when the stake period is done. One of the things that we need to do is we need to manage the coin, right? We need to manage the sell pressure, etc. If there's 350,000 Vibe that are staked or staked, that's a several million Vitru that become available at approximately the same time and every year. So we don't want to create a situation where we go like boom, crash every year on this date, because that's when a bunch of Vitru become free trading. So what we do is once we reach that 1 year, the first year anniversary, we basically have a daily aggregate limit of 5%. I previously said 1%. I've increased that to 5% after doing some more modeling. And so what we'll have is the ability for you to get 5% daily. Now, that means it's a pool, right? So if you have a large bag and you unstake a large amount, very early in the day when the period starts, then that means that there's less for everybody else. It's not an individual 5%, it's an aggregate 5%. So you see the effect this has is when the year ends, or the second year ends, or the third year ends, we gradually have unstaked coins enter the market, and that has a leveling effect and does not shock the system, right? We want to prevent any shock to the system, because that's bad for the whole community. So these two measures are in place just for that. All right. So I think it's clear. The whole reason we have Vibe is because we firmly believe that a rising tide lifts all boats. If we can make everyone win in this, all of us succeed, and that's what Vitruveo is trying to do with Vibe. Our commitment to creators around the world is we want to create a world where you have sustainable income. Now, we want to do it through your art, but we also want to use and take advantage of the fact that decentralized Web3 gives us a unique thing that has never been possible in history: programmable money. Programmable money is very, very interesting because it allows us to create wealth faster than ever before possible. With Vibe representing a revenue share, and this being a rebasing blockchain, the income that's coming in is rebasing, is getting compound interest, and is growing. And so we believe that it presents for everyone an opportunity to create sustainable income as a first goal, and wealth as a second goal, in a very community driven, a very ecosystem driven way. So I'm certainly very, very excited about that, and very proud that we can have that blockchain and the ability to impact artists around the world, to impact crypto investors around the world. All right, let's move on to our last topic here, which is our poet. So every download, we have a proof of engagement token that we issue, and when you have collected all of them for a season, then you participate and get some airdrops and things like that. All right, so that I think wow, I went 20 minutes over today, but there was a lot to cover. So, and I think we'll probably stick around here and answer some more questions. So let's go. Zach, you're welcome back on here. All right, let's start with Rohan. Rohan, some folks sold their boosters. Can you confirm that the Vibe for boosters early birds will be provided to the wallet that the boosters was actually applied? Well, that's ambiguous. Some people don't want that because they might have boosted, friends or family members or something like that. The fact that you sold your booster doesn't mean you gave up access to that wallet, right? So I think we're gonna drop the Vibes into the same wallet that the original booster was associated with, and the booster has nothing to do with it. It's the wallet that's there. So I think we'll be fine on that count. All right, I'm looking for questions here. The main question is 23rd of July, 00 UTC, which block? That's an excellent question. I will make a note of that, and I'll be sure to publish that. So we will get that out to you. And in fact, what we should do, I think it's a better idea, is in Scope, I'll provide a calendar and time tool where you can choose a calendar, a date and time, and it will give you the block number. So it goes, you can do it for any date, because we are constantly going to have this block number to date time conversion. Probably have it go both ways. So you can put in a block number and see what is the date time going to be for that. But Funkmaster, thank you for that suggestion. Phantom says, I'm grabbing as many Vibe tokens as possible. I want lifetime income. That is great. That's phenomenal. So I did cover when we are going to have the stake and swap available. I did talk about the airdrop. So the airdrop happens this weekend. The stake and swap, in the time it takes to get it up on Scope, it's going to be sometime in the next week, probably leaning towards Wednesday or Thursday. All right. We realize how important it is to get this done quickly. So, all right. It would be 10 Vibe for the 100 Vitru for an artist staking for 5 years. That's correct. Yeah, I probably misspoke there. It would not be 5. It would be 5 times 2, because it's 50 plus 50 is 100 times 10. So it would be 10 Vibe. Thank you, Tartan, for for correcting me on that. Also, I just wanted to point out that we do have a handy dandy calculator, an income calculator. So let me get that. The address is I can probably post that here. So it's in this calculator. You can go and put in your Vibe holdings, your Vitru holdings, etc., and it will tell you what your potential income is. So I can just run some top of the shelf kind of numbers for you. Basically, one Vibe represents approximately $66 in income in year 1, $216 in year 2, and going on to about $2,000 in year 5. So that's one Vibe. That's based on our projections right now. And folks, these are projections. You should go in and copy this worksheet, change the numbers, maybe make them more optimistic, more pessimistic, and draw your own conclusions. What we wanted to do was give you a tool to be able to do those. And we chose sort of middle of the line kind of numbers, and these are our projections based upon that. All right. Let's see. Are there more questions? Can we move Vibe from wallet to other wallet? Yes, a Vibe is an ERC 721 NFT, which has a denomination. So, it's got a 1, 5, 100, 50, whatever denomination. So if you've got 1,000 Vibe, you could potentially have one Vibe with 1,000 denomination, and you can move it around wherever you want. When you go to the tool Scope to claim, it's going to check, do you have a Vibe in your wallet? And based upon your denomination, it's going to let you get your share. Now, if you move that, then that doesn't mean you get more share. You can't keep swapping wallets and get more share, because the amount that has been claimed goes along with that NFT. So when you transfer your Vibe to someone else, they can only claim the residual, whatever residual revenue share is left for you to claim out of your share, and of course, whatever future revenue share might be coming. But that's how that works. It's fairly straightforward, Matt. Marriott says, do live Binance on the 23rd. All right, I will try to get that going. Aris says OG pool is not added in the calculator. Yeah, it won't be, because the fact is that the OG pool is only eligible to the OGs. And that calculator is a general purpose calculator with Vitru. It doesn't know if you are OG or not. I suppose I could put a checkbox or something like that that says you are an OG, and then it allows you to do the math. So let me think about that, Aris. That's a good suggestion. What will happen to Vibe earned from stake after 1 or 2 years? Can you restake it, or will it be void? The Vibe you get, whether you stake or you swap or you got it airdropped or whatever, is yours forever. You can do whatever you want with it. It is not in any way being constrained, right? So it's disassociated from your stake. Your stake is staked Vitru are in the contract. They'll be unstaked when the time is done. Your vibe is available to you right away from day one to claim revenue shares in an unconstrained manner. Nick, when will marketing start for 0723? Well, I wanted to talk about this in a more sort of solidified way, but we haven't finished the deal yet. But we are bringing on one of the top market makers to essentially do that for us. So we hope to complete that agreement very shortly, and once we do that, we will announce it. So expect that that's gonna happen very, very quickly. Curious as to how the wrapped Vitru contract balance estimate in the calculator was derived. That's a good question. So at any given time, there's going to be a bunch of Vitru that is there, that is being traded on the DEX, etc. So that wrapped Vitru, in order for trading on the DEX, it has to be wrapped, right? There's a lot of people who are only interested in trading and who are not interested in other things. And so those numbers are based upon that. What they are asking about is this this number right here, right? So basically, what this is doing is saying let's take the balances of all the Vitru coming in plus some of the wrapped Vitru that is sitting in the contract, and it's rebasing, and it's based upon that. So that's how that number is, and it is an estimate. It is definitely an estimate, and you should, as I said, you can make it optimistic, pessimistic, in order to come up with different scenario numbers. Let's make one thing clear, right? When you do revenue projections as a startup, etc., you try and be a little more than conservative. You cannot be conservative and be a startup. You're not like an accounting business, right? You're a startup. High velocity, high growth is important for you. So you try and project things out and say, okay, how can I dominate this market? What are the things I can do to dominate this market? And that's how we are approaching the projection. In particular, when someone says, "Oh, Nick, look at the NFT art market," and etc. So what you're missing there is the fact that we are not looking at the current NFT market. We're not looking at the people who are in Web3 right now as the way to make money. We are looking at the 84% of artists and art organizations who are not yet in Web3. That's where our growth is coming from. That is not where the growth is coming from for the other marketplaces, etc. They are relying, because of the way they're set up, they are relying on crypto native folks already, right? We are not. We are working very quickly. In fact, in the store very soon, we are hoping to have credit card purchases for collector credits and things like that, right? But everything we're doing is around the 84% of the market that's not yet here, and that's 160 billion market. I may be wrong by that. About that, I might be off a little bit, but it's a very large market, and so there's ample opportunities for us to capture. And even if we are unable to convince a lot of artists who are already on, say, Ethereum or whatever to switch, it's okay. We have a large market we are going after. Now, speaking of the switch thing, etc., I had a few downloads ago talked about Transporter. We will eventually release a bridge tool that allows you to bridge your artwork over from Ethereum and Solana, etc., to Vitruveo. But it's a matter of priorities. We can't do everything all at once, right? We have to prioritize, and that is not a higher priority, but it's certainly on our list of to-dos, of things to do. Let's see here. Question about the download poet rewards for season 3 be rewarded during the upcoming Vibe airdrop. That's a good thing. I will ask Alex to do the analysis on that and get together the wallets that are eligible, and we'll try and do the airdrop on that as soon as possible. You're specifically saying, would that be Vibe? I can't answer that right now, but I think that's a good idea. We do have a portion of the Vibe allocated. That's the treasury allocation for marketing purposes. So this would serve as a marketing expense. The Honcho exchange is still the right place to purchase Vortex to get more Vibe. Yes, you can use that right now. I think the Neon Circus team is putting the finishing touches. We will have an official announcement probably tomorrow that it's there, and then we will also redirect the Honcho marketplace to that page. So, but it is perfectly safe and perfectly cool for you to go to. And let me go ahead and post that link here, because that's the only way you can go and get Vibe right now. Sorry, Vortex. So if you go here, this is the page, and here you will see that you can get project information. So that this tells you all about Vortex, etc. And right now, if you mint one Vortex, you get the Vortex, of course, and you get into Vortex world. But you have a 33% chance of getting a Vibe. If you go to 2, you have a 100% chance. So that's $25. You have a 100% chance of getting a Vibe. Now you're going to need USDC here, and so we have a bridge to bridge USDC from Polygon to Vitruveo. Right. So there we go. Let's see, what else? Do we have more questions here? And maybe as I was talking, Neon, I'm seeing Tartan Madman's comment that Neon Circus is available. Maybe it is already available, and if so, great. I'll just verify it by doing a mint, and as soon as it's there, we'll redirect. What is the OG amount again? Gosh, I don't know at the top of my head, but let me look it up and I'll tell you. Gus, so that is all right. So the OG perks pool was 9.85 million coins over. That's with a 2-year vesting. Okay, and let's see. All right. Is the revenue share distribution that we claim paid in Vitru or Wrap Vitru? Vitru. It will be in Vitru. As I said, Wrap Vitru has only one function here, which is DEX trading. And the reason for that is because Vitru is rebasing, and we cannot use it on the exchange, especially on centralized exchanges, because what happens there is the exchange gets all the revenue from the rebasing, whereas now with Wrap Vitru, Vibe holders get all the revenue. About consignment, did you mention earlier whether the artists will have elastic edition pricing available Monday? No. So we have 3 phases for the pricing license. Actually, let me see if I can get to that page and kind of show you. These are all sold. So let me go to here. So let's go to licenses. All right. So in licenses, we have 3 components. We have, and I'll zoom in a bit. So one of the things about Vitruveo is we believe that all artwork should be licensed, and licensed in multiple ways. So we want to make it possible where once you create an artwork, you're making money for it forever, not just one NFT sale and you're done. So streaming is, for example, a recurring revenue stream, etc. But anyway, getting back to here. So you can see here that you choose your license type, then you choose single edition, you put in the price, and you can put any price you want. You can put, I don't know, $9,100 or whatever it is. And that is good for that license. Elastic is disabled. Unlimited editions is disabled. We are applying this in a phased manner. So we release single edition and immediately start working on elastic edition. We are not talking about weeks here, days, maybe a couple days, 3 days for each one. Because what we have to do is to test out not just the UI, but the whole workflow all the way to the contract where it mints it, and then where you can claim the funds, buy it, etc. So we have to test out that whole workflow. And Elastic Editions is a totally new concept, which doesn't exist anywhere else. And it's going to require us to do some good testing to make sure it's robust and works well. So that's that. Let's see. All right. So there's no silly question. I'm happy to answer questions here. If you buy a Vortex that has a vibe after the ones dropped over the weekend, will they be added to the vibe we already have? Thanks. No, they won't. So what will happen is, and let's go to that slide here with the denominations, because here we go. All right. So let's say that you get airdropped this weekend and you get, I don't know, 155 vibes. So you get 100 denomination, a 50 denomination, and a 5 denomination, right? And then you buy another couple or whatever, and you have 3 more coming to you. Well, those are single units, so you will get 3 that way, or maybe you get 5. What you can do with the contract is then mix and match and combine and split them however you want. It's just, think of it like currency bills. You have something, you want it a different way, you go, I don't know, go to the bank or ask your friend or your spouse or someone to change it for you. That's what you do. That's exactly how Vibe works. It's like denomination. So if you got paid something, that's there. Now you got paid something again. Now you have different denominations. So you can combine them and split them in the contract however you want. Hopefully that answers your question. Vijay asked, any words about Flip Artists, please? I want nothing more than to release that app, but I have been so busy working on all of this stuff here with Vibe and with the token trading imminent. I desperately want to release that, and but it's probably, I don't know, about 6 hours worth of work more, and I don't think I can spare 6 hours for a personal project this weekend. So I don't know. I'll do my best to get something done as ASAP, but it is something on my, I really want to do it. So basically we had a Nintendo of art. Ooh, I like that. So with our streaming service, I always described it as a Spotify for art, but I like that also. Cashflow King says, I stuck call you yet. It would be good to partner with smaller approachable image libraries, bulk upload imageries. Yeah, so bulk upload is on the horizon for the next few months. We want to be able to have people with large collections of existing artworks, photographs, whatever, 1,000 artworks, just come in, consign them. And but no, they have not called me yet. All right, I think Mystique says, I just successfully bought an Ultra from Neon Circus, which had a Vibe attached to it, and it shows up in my Vitruscope too. How does your Vibe show up in the Vitruscope? That can be possible. The Vortex does, yes. But the Vibe, oh, I know what you're saying. You're saying the Vibe indicator shows up in Scope. So in Scope, when you go here, it will tell you what's there. So that's great. That means Neon Circus is firing on all cylinders. That's excellent. Congrats to the Neon Circus team. Like I said, right after download, I'll just go mint one. It works, and we'll redirect from the Honcho launch page to Neon Circus and go there. So that's great, Mystique. Thank you for letting us know that. Ready Freddy says, July 23rd is UTC. Yes, it is. Do booster buyers get some vibes, Nick? Yes, a lot of vibes. Each booster buyer gets, gosh, what was that number? I'll tell you. This is the vibe spreadsheet. Plan. So booster buyers, each one get 14 vibe, and super booster buyers get 2338 vibe. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, CK also answered that. Thank you for that, CK. Can there be an option to move many NFTs in one transaction? So in Scope, we are going to do the bare minimum. But now that we have a Neon Circus, what we can do is we can send all these features requests their way to be able to do some of that. So, for example, here in Neon Circus, you've got your portfolio. You've got all. So this is mine right now. In the account I'm currently signed in as, I got some swoops and I got some vortex, and that's pretty much it. But that's because those are the 2 projects they are tracking. But what they're going to add boosters, etc. also. And yeah, so I'm sure that that's a feature that we can request for them to add, to be able to transfer, because that's a feature that's in OpenSea, etc. You can select a bunch and say transfer, give it the wallet address, and they go away. So we can certainly have do that. I think the marketplace is a better place to have those things done than in Scope. But Scope's feature is more about aggregating your assets and giving you the ability to have over time calculators and things like that. Will we have to go to Vitruswap in order to get a contract address to see the Vibe in our wallet? Or will the Vibe tokens only be showing on Scope? All right, so Vitruswap has nothing to do with this. And the Vibe tokens will show up in Scope. So in Scope, we will add, just like we have right now, we have Vortex and Vitru Suite and Core, so we have the different ones here, and we'll have a Vibe option here also. So when we mint 2+ Vortex after this weekend's Vibe airdrop, do we automatically get Vibe at the same time as the mint? It depends on when you do it. My plan is to kind of keep running that job every day, once a day, the Vibe airdrop one. So we capture the ones that have not received. If not, like at that airdrop, the 24 hours from now, from the time it'll be captured then. Nick, the pause claim from July till November, once it's open, you can claim 100% the total amount. Yes, you can do that. Nick, are you going to Toronto next month for art show or possible partnerships? Actually, I'm on my way back from India, and I have to stop in DC to help my daughter move in to college. And since I'm in the East there, and there was a bunch of artists in Toronto who've been asking me to come and maybe do a meetup or something. So I'm going there for that. So if there is an art show at the time I'm there, then that's great. I would love to attend that. But this is really more about artist relationships than anything else. And it's just a small detour on the way back home from India. All right. Oh, well, here's one. How will you approach new investors who ask about the Vibe in Scope in the future when all the Vibe is gone? Well, I mean, yeah, we don't have an infinite supply. We have a limited supply, and I'm sure some portion of Vibe holders will put their Vibe for sale on a marketplace, and the odds are that they will, right? Not 100% of people are going to hold on to them, so that would be the way to grab it. Okay, guys, it's almost 2 hours here, so I think we'll save more questions for the next one, or you can post them in Discord. And one of the things that is working really well is Mike kind of aggregates the questions that aren't easy to that don't have an answer already, and we chat and we just go through all those, and then we put them in an FAQ. So I thank all of you who came here today. I'm really, really excited about the coming weeks. We've got a lot going on, and things are really heating up. So Vibe, Vortex, Wrap Vitru on the decks. These are some big things. We've waited a while to get to this stage. I'm really excited. So thank you all, and I will see you next week. We'll probably have more of these streams. We'll definitely have some airdrops. I have to publish a schedule for that. I realize that, and I apologize once again because I was late on the last one. I messed up the date, but we got it done anyway. So thanks everyone. Have a great weekend. and I'll see you around on Discord or in a space or online. But enjoy. Bye.